Hello, everyone. Good evening. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Dr. Sandra, and I'm here today to bring you a very special edition of my weekend charting. Weekend is when we all take the time to recuperate, to rejuvenate, to detox, to absolutely calibrate ourselves for the week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we also do when we talk about the weekend is that the weekend is when we also take time to press the reset button, particularly to understand what the market dynamics are like. What's the market saying? An opportunity to rehash what has gone on as far as newsworthy items are concerned for the week. And then also an opportunity to take stock of what is to come for the week that is ahead. I am in the United Kingdom. The time here is 10 p.m. The markets open in a couple of hours. And in advance of them opening, the scene has been set somewhat on account of what happened on Friday. On Friday, the chair of the American banking system, the Federal Reserve, Mr. Jerome Powell, put out a statement. What happened thereafter has sent shocks into the markets as far as stocks, as far as currencies, as far as indices, as far as crypto, as far as commodities and oil, as far as industry is concerned, as far as countries are concerned as well. So this session is an opportunity to catch up on what was and then be able to set the scene, give us a line of sight for the week ahead, understand the direction of travel that helps every single one of us, all stakeholders in the marketplace, know how best to pitch our positions going forward. My name is Dr. Sandra. I am a woman of many talents. I'm a woman of many competencies. In this instance, I would like to introduce myself to you as a bit of a crypto enthusiast, as a bit of a Forex enthusiast, as a trader in the marketplace with reference to futures and perpetuals and spot trading as well. And I come to you not just from the perspective of the markets. I like to put a little slant to it. I've been in IT for over 20 years, and so what I'm able to do, especially is when I talk about market, when I do analyze the markets, to give you the understanding from a technologist's perspective as well. So that gives you a very rich context. Now, what you're looking at on screen is my YouTube page called the RoyalQ University. Check it out. Why is it called RoyalQ? Well, one of my multiple streams of income comes from an AI trading bot known as RoyalQ. RoyalQ, Royal Quantum, is an AI trading bot that makes me money on a daily basis, and that can also make you money on a daily basis. It's an extremely fabulous way to generate passive income. It works in the background. You set it once, you forget about it, and it makes you money in the marketplace, regardless of whether prices are going down or whether prices are going up. In this instance, in the crypto market. Ladies and gentlemen, I used to be a member of the Girl Guides, and our Scouts motto, you may well know it. It's be prepared. We have to be prepared for the financial eventuality that is to come. We have to be prepared for the rising inflation. There's no running away from it. From South Africa to the UK to America to Europe to China to Asia to Papua New Guinea, the whole world is reeling from rising inflation. The better you are able to position your finances in such a way that you are making dollars. Yes, I said it. Dollars daily. Because dollars right now It's the strongest American currency out there. The stronger you are able to position yourself to make the American dollar on a daily basis, the better for you. Doesn't matter whether you're at work or whether you're not working. The AI trading bot does that for you. If you are interested in this, hit me up, send me a comment. I'm happy to send you my link so that you can connect to this. More and more and more of the money that I'm making is coming from crypto. Oh yes. More and more of the money that I'm making and my interests come from playing the markets. This is me opening my doors and making my systems available to you. If you are truly interested in knowing how the RoyalQ AI trading bot works, hit me up. Let's connect and let me hold your hand through the process. So once again, you're welcome. This is Sunday, the 28th of August, 2022. And I am taking you in. Let's start this beautiful journey. There's quite a few things that I want to tell you about today. So guys, first things first, let me go into my TradingView account, because that is where it all starts from. And you can begin to see that truly the impact of the market is still there. If you notice on the screen on the right hand side, we can see the percentage change and the points change, differences across the board for all sorts of financial instruments. Basically, this is Count Dracula's favorite color, red. The markets are bleeding. The markets are red across the board, from the German instruments to the French instruments to the EU 50 indices to the Japanese indices to the Hong Kong Hang Seng, which is the one that is in Hong Kong, to the NAS100, to the SPX, SP 500, to the UK FTSE 100, as well as US 30. Across the board, the markets are red. And when we attempt to go to the stocks, you can see the same thing. The market is red all around. There's a position of strength looking at it from the gold, the silver, and oil. I guess, when the chips are down and when people run away from stocks, money has to find its way somewhere. And it looks as though the futures market is enjoying. Gold has seen a slight increment, silver a slight increment, and oil as well a slight increment. Although saying that, seems to be UK Brent oil over the US oil. So ladies and as far as gold and silver is concerned as well, there's been there's a little slight dip here for those who trade those in the spot markets. So looking at Forex, the market is particularly for Australian dollars, it's all red. The Canadian dollar seems to have found a little refuge in succor. The Swiss francs and the euro are currencies that are looking a little strong. I say that on a Sunday night. The market's open in less than a couple of hours. Anything can happen. But I'm just giving you the opportunity to see what the market is like. Even the British pound has picked up. The pound has picked up. The great British pound sterling, which is my currency, of course, as I am in the UK, is looking green. It was looking very red last week. And so as we go down, we can also see that the New Zealand dollars red all round. US dollars picking up a bit. I see hints of green, saying that the chief color for the US dollar last week was red. So looking at the markets, we can see Standard & Poor's fell by 3.37%. The Nasdaq fell by 4.07%. Crypto Bitcoin index fell by minus 0.14%. The Dow fell by 3%, and Russell 2000 fell by 3% as well. And there seems to be a little strength, a gaining in strength, a slight strengthening of the American dollar. And we can see that reflected in the currency prices. When you go to crypto, it's a mixture, but chiefly red. But it's a mixture. Some coins have survived this bloodbath. some have not. The markets for cryptos open all over the was open all weekend. It doesn't close. So I mean, there's still trading activity that we can see beginning to pick up. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, I'm going to go into the chart today and then break it down a bit. But my focus is what happened in the subsequent market happenings after Mr. Jerome Powell had said what he said on Friday. So if we take the opportunity, take some snapshots of the market, if we look at some community charts, we can begin to, let's look at some heat maps just to be able to put the market in perspective. So the market was sent into a tailspin, chiefly stocks. You can look at that. Apple's down, Amazon's down, Nvidia is down, Tesla stock is down. Quite a few. If we go to look at the stocks heat map, you can see the index. Whoa, red and more red. Bloodbath, total bloodbath. Now, saying this, it may be a bloodbath for now, but as you know, one man's meat is another man's poison. For those who are not invested in stocks, you can see that the dipping of the market into red gives us all the opportunity to be able to enter into the market and begin to play stocks. For those already invested in stocks, I have already been advising people to get out of the stocks market, to sell their shares and just sit on that money and wait, because prices are going to dip lower. Oh, absolutely. If we take it on a sector by sector basis, look at technology. Technology is red. Absolutely red. If we look at finance, the market is still red. Berkshire Hathaway, red. JP Morgan and Co, red. Schwartz, red. Quite a few. I mean, everything, it's just red. Complete bloodbath. And now, why is it important that you know this? Because this gentleman, I believe, is the most important banker in the world. He's the Federal Reserve's, American Central Bank's head. His words sent U.S. stocks into a tailspin, and I was able to confirm that by this heat map. You can see that the market color is just red, very vampiric red, absolute grim reaper on the streets, absolute grim reaper on the streets. This is why it's good to be able to at least, have another way of making money. If you exist as a mere worker in all of these great companies, you would be in fear of your job. But if you play the market, you would have shorted the shares and you would have made your money. So although the markets look red, it's actually very blue for those of us who play the markets, trade the markets, and who hedge against news such as drove the market sentiment, news such as the one that was put out there by Mr. Jerome Powell. God bless his soul, but I bet you right now he has the best security in town, because his words sent the US stocks market into a tailspin. Market fell by 3%. Basically, it's coming at a very bad time. Americans and the whole world are having to pay more for basic goods. Inflation in America is at a 4-decade high. In case you don't know, a decade means 10. 4 decades, 40 years. Inflation in America is at a 40-year high. It was a highly anticipated speech. All eyes were on America. The markets absolutely slowed down last week until about 1:30 p.m. UK BST, British Summer Time, when boom, the markets just absolutely dipped when that news came out. And so I'm going to give you some of the quotes that came from him. We're also going to go through the charts today, but I'm just giving you, building up the case for why the markets were markedly red. Why the markets were as bloody as they were. He said that while higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain. Oh my God. Woo! To household and to businesses. These are unfortunate costs of reducing inflation, but a failure to restore price stability will mean for greater pain. My God, look at it. The word pain is emphasized, repeated. Even the Bible says, in the mouth of two or more witnesses shall the truth be established. The truth of the matter is, across the whole world, in any way that you look at it, any country starting with any alphabet of the English language or non-English language, there's pain. There's market pain, there's opportunity pain, there's financial pain, there's industry pain. So his justification for on Friday, he's confirming that he wants to avoid inflation becoming more entrenched. Simply put, it means that if people believe that inflation will be high, they will alter their behavior accordingly. Somebody who thinks prices will rise up to 3% next year is more likely to seek a 3% rise in wages. Well, I ask the question, if inflation is at a 4-decade high, that means we must all be asking for at least a 40% increase in wages. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and know that it is too dangerous to have a single source of income. It is time to realize that the more democratic your financial streams of income, the better. The Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, in essence, issued a fresh warning to investors. And the ramifications are, still felt till today. This is Sunday. The Dow plunged 1,000 points after he warned of inflation pain. Severe nosediving. The overarching focus is to bring inflation back down. And my question is, fine. I mean, this objective is good and it's noble, but at what cost to you and I? At what cost to the market? What is going to become of our savings? What is going to become of our pensions? What is going to become of the money we have in the bank, if we can still get hold of that money? What is going to happen to our jobs? We will still have opportunities like we used to have them? Should we now be afraid? How afraid should we be? What is going on in the world? High interest rates, slow growth, acute conditions in the labor market, supply chain catastrophe, uncertainty in the market, war and more wars. Dare I say, winter is going to be quite a dire affair in Europe. Why? Because of Russia. Let's not forget that the Russia-Ukraine war is continuing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that there is tumultuous happenings in the market. The market has been thrown into a tailspin. Let's go to the chart. Let's do charting, because charting is where you experience truth. In between showing you what has happened in the marketplace, as well as breaking it down, what the impact of Mr. Powell's speech on Friday is to the markets, I will also be teaching you a new skill. It's my intention today to teach you the concept of trend in a trend. I want to chart and I want to teach you the concept of trend in a trend. At the end of the day, we are all students of the market. At the end of the day, we must all seek to become better translators of the market data and market parameters as the market gives to us. If there was, and this is not an opportunity that we learn in schools, this is something that we actually have to physically go out and seek by ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go through the charts, and I also want to use the strategy of trend in a trend to be able to teach us all how to read the markets better, how to translate the markets better. My first question to you is, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one little piece at a time. What do I mean? Let's check it out. I want to show you a little something. So this is the weekly for the EU 50. This is an European indice, and what I'm hoping to do is to paint a picture of the market. And so when we look at most immediate position of the market, we can see that there's a downtrending in the market, emphasized by what started happening on Friday, or right from the 15th of August. The market has been on a descent. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is show you what the impact of the market is. What I'm going to do is to be able to explain the ramifications for what will happen when the markets open in an hour or so, and that you can be able to understand what possible potential positions that you and I must play in the market. So most immediately we can see that as at January until now, the market has been on a descent. I've drawn the outer trend line, and I'm also now going to draw another trend line. I used to draw trend lines on a singular basis, just draw one single trend line before and then do my analysis from it. But as I said, we're all students of the market and we get better. I've started now drawing my trend lines like this. Why? Because it gives me an opportunity to zero in. I don't want to hear noise, and all these candles, I must confess, are quite noisy. They are quite noisy. The reds and the greens are distracting. To be honest with you, I would even dare to suggest that at this point, you make your chart a line chart. Look at it, how magically your eyes are immediately calmed down. So I've drawn the trend line. I've been able to capture the market in its downward descent state. The next thing to do is to very quickly put in some support and resistance lines, and I'm going to very quickly do that. Support and resistance, gives us the opportunity to be able to know what the market's ceiling and what the market floors are. It helps us to understand what the the points of interest for the market is, and the points from which the markets are able to where the market makers are able to control activities and dictate the pace of the markets. I started off with the weekly. Let me now take it down to the daily. So we're going to begin to see much more of what is taking place here. We begin to see much more of we begin to home in on the market by itself. My point of interest is right here. This, when the markets open, they open at this position in the next few hours. What I want us to see is begin to understand and expose what exactly it is we think will happen in the market come next couple of hours. So this is my daily. I'm going to attempt to look for more supports. I believe I can find them. I can see more zoning in more clustering in the market. That's it. This area, I can see that it's an area of interest in the market, and I believe that I can also see another one here. That's it. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our important zones marked up. We can see that the market is making lower highs and lower lows. What do I mean? When you watch the descent of the market, particularly since January, boom, oh, boom, oh my God, boom, boom, whoa, and then boom. This is the latest boom. The latest boom is what we're talking about. This is what happened when it's been happening since the 15th of August, but in particular on Friday, the market suffered a great shock as a result of Mr. Powell's statements. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like to draw the topic of this presentation today is drawing trend within a trend. So basically, we can see that the markets, this is the daily. If I take it down to the 4 hour, well, let's make that 8. When I talk about trend in trends, this is what I mean, that within that downtrend, or let me change that to red, because that's the ideology that I adopt. I like when the trend is going downwards to paint it red, so that very immediately I can be clear during my analysis and not have to necessarily zoom in and zoom out all of the time. When I see the colors, I can immediately know what direction the market is headed. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that we are headed down. There have been opportunities for buys in the market, but overall the market is headed down. This is what happened to the market on Friday. If truth be told, I can see one or two little shapes down there that are of interest. And this is what I want to use to be able to help us all understand what's going on in the market. Guys, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. There you go. I can see the left shoulder. I can clearly see ahead. I can see the beginnings of a right shoulder. And according to the ideology of trading, boom, we're going down. My question now is, okay, if the markets open up, or when the markets open up on Monday, what is going to happen? When the markets open up on Monday, what do they open up to? According to the ideology of head and shoulders, it's a descent. And so what are we facing? Are we facing a continued descent of the market? Or are we inclined to think that as soon as the market opens, there will be a pullback according to the ideology of trading, and then there will be a continuation of that descent according to the ideology of trading? What is going to happen? Well, there are one or two clues. We can use to answer this question of what will happen as soon as the markets open in a few hours. Will there be an automatic pullback? Or will the reverberations of Friday, will it continue? Will the market simmering and shivering according to what has happened because the fabulous Mr. Powell opened his mouth and announced pain and greater pain in the market? What are we going to do? What's going to happen? And by the way, this thing that I'm speaking about is not just a phenomena that is unique to the EU 50. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at something here. Hang on. I want to show you a little something. Okay, good. Look at what happened to the US 100. Look at what happened to the Dow Jones US 30. And look at what happened. The bottom chart refers to SP 500. Same thing. So across the board, we can see that the indices mimicked one another. And quite frankly, EU 30 mimics that as well. We can see that the descent of the markets is mimicked by what happened in US 30. Let me clean up the chart a bit and let me now also draw some trends inside the trends. You've heard me use this word, trends inside the trends. What do I mean? Well, the ideology of trading tells us that within the markets, there is an undulation. There is a path charted by the price. And accordingly, when you look at the market, you can see that the charting is such that we have trend lines within the trends. Within this trend, you can see that the market undulates and it continues to have other trends within it. And I find this helps me enormously when I am doing analysis, because when I see it, this removes the noise. This honestly removes, because to the eye, to the uninitiated, when you are looking at the chart, especially when you get to the lower time frames, you begin to chart, see the charts are going up and coming down and going up and coming down and going up and coming down. And then you're saying to yourself, you're confused. You don't know what to do. And as a newbie, it can be frightening. So I find when I draw the trends within the trends, I can make optimal decisioning. And this is my point of reference. The market opens and it will open here. You can see that as at Friday, the market stopped at an order block. This is an order block. This is an important area for the market. It was a resistance at a point. As at Friday, it proved to be a support. This is a major price zone. The market loves this zone. And the question is, come Monday morning, what exactly is going to happen? Are we expecting the market to go up, or are we expecting it to come down? What is going to happen? So this is what I want to show you. Earlier on, I showed you that there is evidence to suggest a structure formation of heads and shoulders. According to the ideology of trading, it means that after the third head has been attained, the market will go down. That is the ideology of trading. But guys, I want to let you know this, that the markets could open on Sunday in a couple of hours and carry on with the momentum that it had carried on with on Monday before establishing some sort of pullback. Who knows to what extent it will pull back? Will it pull back further? Potentially. Or will it start another descent that continues what had been started on the 15th of August? What scenario is going to play out? What scenario is the market going to give us? Are we going to experience this, or are we going to experience this? We know that there's going to be an inevitable pullback, but when will the pullback occur? Will it occur as soon as the market opens up on Sunday? Will we see an immediate pullback? Will it go to the trend line? What's going to happen? Well, based on what I have been looking at and what I have been seeing from my market analysis over the weekend, I put it to you that as soon as the market opens up on Monday, that there's still momentum for more downward push. And that's what I'm anticipating. I watched the market until the end of play on Friday when the markets closed. And just before the market closed, there was an increased acceleration to make sure that this order block was met. If I take the chart down to a level that allows us to see the detail, we can see that there are two big engulfing candles. In fact, the entirety of this engulfing candle was such that, if I make it 8 hours, you can see that the size of the engulfing candle is such that it engulfed all of this here. So that's quite a seismic shift, a seismic move of the market. As at Friday, if we're looking at it, look at that, 3.41%, and this is the Euro 50. The same was made manifest across the board for all of the other instances and installments of the indices. A big shift, a clear marked shift, a clear descent. So as we now approach into the new week, I put it to you that, yes, market ideology is correct. Yes, we are going to see pullback. But I don't believe that this descent is finished. I believe that as soon as the market opens, there will still be some downward movement. If we look left to what has happened before, you can see that it's not the first time that this order block was broken. A descent continued. This was way back on the 10th of June. The last time there was a descent towards this order block, that order block was broken. There was a break in structure. It carried on going down, down, down. And to be honest with you, were I to measure this, there was a descent that carried on for 89 points, which is 2.5%, which is 893 pips. So if we look at how far this descent was way back in June, this descent was as far down as 133.3.73%, 1,334 pips. Whenever you want to check out the possibilities or explore what could happen in the market, you look left. We've looked left, and I can definitely tell you this, that there's no instance it looks, even at that, if I zoom in more to look at previous installments where that order block was broken, if I look at other installments, you can see that there was no actual closure, there was no actual stoppage of the, look at this, 296 pips thereafter, then it stopped. In this instance, there was a continuation of near enough 194 pips before it stopped. In this instance of this huge doji here, we can see a continuation of 218 pips before the red stops. So guys, I'm telling you this, I may not know how far it can fall, or we can take a guess. We can take a guess. Let me, not a guess, we can do a little something, which is what we tend to do when we want to measure. We can take a look and say that potentially the market has this to go before we see sign of a pullback. And there's no knowing or no telling of when the pullback we go back until. Will it go back by 10%? Who knows? Will it go back by 20%? Who knows? Will the pullback be such that it goes back to the trend lines and then continues a gradual descent? Who knows? There will be a pullback at some point. But I don't believe that is going to happen immediately the market opens on Sunday. I believe that this momentum, the thrust of Mr. Powell's words, will actually now begin to make manifest in the Asian markets first, because the markets open, and we can begin to see. You can begin to see the size of the the candles. These are huge engulfing candles, huge, big. They got a bit smaller. But they carried on. The path was definitively downtrending. Definitively downtrending. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this will be the story across the board for all of the indices. I've just taken the case study of EU50 to prove this point to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the thrust, I believe, continues. The market opens to a continued descent. There will be continued opportunities in the marketplace. After all, that is why we are where we are. That is why we enjoy this market so much, because you can make money when the market goes down or when the market goes up. It's what I love. I wish I had entered into Forex earlier. I'm a relatively newcomer to Forex, but in terms of the analysis, I love it. I love it for the analysis, because I've spent over 20 years in IT. I started off as a business analyst. I work as a program manager. I worked as a product manager. I work as a work stream manager. I've worked as worn a number of different hats. But I started live in IT as an analyst, and this is why I love Forex. It just allows me to absolutely enjoy myself when it comes to analysis. I think I'm going to put this up on Trading View, actually. I put it up as a trading idea. I think I'm going to put this up as a trading idea on Trading View. That'd be nice. So this is where the market is. The descent will continue. So my trade idea, let me put it here, is continued downside post Jerome Powell's words on Friday. The bleed. Continues downside before inevitable pullback. I believe it's still too early to cut. I made a rough guess. Words pain Friday. That's it. I'm going to put this up on Trading View as a trading idea. Yeah, I'm going to invite people's comments on it. I have people. Yeah. So following my trend on trend words, which is how we started this video in the first place. I'm going to put another trend line here. That's it. So will this descent respect? It might respect possibly this trend line, and then the momentum stops there before the pullback potentially, or it might go ahead and break this downside trend line and carry on until it stops potentially other areas where this could stop. We can see a support zone there. We can also see another support zone there. We can see clusters here. There's another block there. We can see potential areas. That's a key zone. Yeah. Any one of these places could be where the market descends to. Any one of these places. So this downward trend could well continue. I believe it will continue. It's just a question of when it's going to stop. There's still power in those thrusts. Those engulfing candles have not finished their business. It's a question of how far will it go before the pullback. There's an inevitable pullback. But when will it kick in? When will it kick in? Who knows? So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Dr. Sandra. Oh, yes, I was going to show you guys a little something. I went to CoinMarketCap earlier, and I was trying to get an idea of how bloodied the crypto market is. And guys, check this out. Sorry, I always have thousands of windows open. Look at it. It's all red. Bitcoin's dipped. Ethereum dipped. This is the crypto market. Binance is just unnaturally flat. My God, this is shocking. Tether's flat. Binance is flat. This is the impact of Jerome's words. Look at that. Red. I have never seen anything so vampiric. So the words of this gentleman were heavy. It doesn't mean that crypto's over and out. This is my favorite coin. My favorite coin. Oh my God. It had always weathered the storm. It's dipped now. Ladies and gentlemen, things are happening. Things are happening. Oh, eCash seems... Wow, this is the only one that seems to be beating the blues. ZEC, okay. But the crypto market is bloodied. Oh, synthetics is doing very well. Oh, that's very nice. The crypto, oh my God. Oh! But one man's meat is another man's poison. You see, the beauty of Forex is that you can make money whether the market goes down or whether it goes up. I've just been able to prove the concept to you that there's a lot at stake in the market. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake. We're right to, I just saw something which reminded me. If I take a fib of the most current position, trying to understand the extent to which the market will fall, if I take a fib position, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this: the market hasn't stopped falling. There's still some bearish momentum there. So whatever you're doing and however it is you are playing the indices, we trade sentiments on indices. I want you all to be at high alert. So Jerome Powell's words were heavy on the market on Friday. 1.25 trillion was wiped off the US stocks. And just prepare yourself for what is coming inevitably. It's time for incredible wealth. It's not time for incredible panic. It's time for incredible wealth. It's time for incredible strategizing. It's time for strategic and tactical maneuvers. Yes. It's time for smartly playing the market. It's time to use the information that this platform gives you to be able to put yourself into a position of financial advantage. Forex is a good thing. As I said earlier, I wish I discovered it sooner. I would have absolutely killed it by now, or much more so than I'm killing it anyway. And I need you to know that every single day there are trillions of dollars that are available for anyone's pockets. All it needs is your commitment, your time, your desire to be better than where you are, your hunger to be better, your hunger to make sure you don't end up in a mess. In a financial mess. This is the time. This is it. Fibonacci wise, we've come down just past the 50% level. Just past the 50% level. I believe this still has some way to go. There's no telling where it's going to stop, but the momentum hasn't stopped. Hasn't finished. It hasn't exhausted yet. It hasn't exhausted. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Dr. Sandra. The name of my channel is called the RoyalQ University. And I am a Forex aficionado, a crypto enthusiast, coach and mentor, and AI trading bot. Oh yes, I have I'm going to do one or two other videos tonight. There are some coins I'm looking at that I want to put before you guys. So keep your eye focused on my wall. Remember, if you're interested in the AI trading bot, just give me a touch. Give me a tap on the shoulder. 1, 2. If you are hungry to make money, you've come to the right channel. And if you are interested in knowing how the market will work for you, I'm only a comment away. I'm only a tap away. So thanking you very much. And this is where I bid you goodbye. I'm going to do some more videos tonight. So keep your eye on my wall. Connect to me. Subscribe. Like the video. Come on. Go ahead. Like the video. I'm sure you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I do love doing analysis. Woo! It's in my blood. Love, 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 love it. So guys, see you at the top.